can afford and not reward.
Welcome to the BYOK Live, where we discuss the trending stories, strangest dilemmas, and real life topics. Okay now, lovelies, let's get into some things. Hello.
Hey, everybody.
It is September 13th. Can you believe that we are in the double digits in September already?
No.
Already. But anyway, happy Wednesday. How was your week so far, Mom?
So far, so good. Challenging, but it's okay.
Yeah, so this has been a really long week. We got one more day in this Mercury retrograde, thank heavens. And maybe life can be just a tad bit normal.
Oh, it's over tomorrow?
Yes, over tomorrow. Hey, love you too.
Love you.
Yes, over tomorrow. So
Yes.
Friday, hopefully everything doesn't seem tipsy-turvy. According to them, it appears different, but it's the same. It just seems different. So anyway, let's get into the show. You ready?
Ready.
All right. Oh, hello, Fluent Radio. Forgive me. Hello, Fluent Radio. Welcome to the BYOK show. Everyone that's watching on YouTube, Facebook, like, follow. You know the drill. I'm on all social media platforms at Be Your Own Kind 24. All right. You ready for the show?
Let's go.
All right. Oh, wait. I wasn't ready for y'all.
Daydream. I fell asleep beneath the flowers.
I don't know why I play those back to back. I don't even know why I do the thing. But sunshine is when we talk about some positive things before we get into everything else.
Cool.
All right. So the first one, I thought this was so cool. This was on my personal Facebook. So I had to share that. And it says recently learned about a term called a glimmer, which is essentially the opposite of a trigger. Glimmers are those micro moments in your day that make you feel joy, happiness, peace, or gratitude. Once you train your brain to be on the lookout for glimmers, the more these tiny moments will begin to appear. Oh, cool. I like that there's a word opposite, the antithesis of trigger. Yeah, I love that. So, Mom, what's the glimmer for today?
A glimmer for today was I got all my work done at work.
That is good. What are you guys glimmers this day? My day was getting my hair done because it was rough. Okay. So I really had my hair was looking crazy, y'all. So that was my glimmer. Let me know what your glimmers are in the comments. Yes, I love that because we always highlight triggers. You know what I'm saying? And so I saw a quote that said the things that you pay most attention to are the things that have life.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
That's true.
Hey, Cynthia. Good
evening.
Don't forget to share your glimmers, everyone. And while we're waiting on that, we have some positive corner. I love her. We are manifesting that Sheryl Ralph is a guest on the show. Like, I have to interview her.
Let's touch and agree.
I have to touch and agree. I love her. Look at my Facebook messaging going nuts. All right, so let me refresh this so I can start from the beginning. And let's hear what she had to say.
Janet Jackson wrote the first check for Divas Simply Singing, $5,000. And that was the money that put me over the budget, so I was able to do the show. She probably didn't remember it, or how sometimes somebody else writes the check for you, but it was exactly what I needed at that time. And here we are 33 years later, still doing the good work, still raising awareness around health and well-being and HIV and AIDS. And I get to say thank you. I'm grateful and I appreciate it.
I love that. Isn't that funny how something Janet sowed a seed and is still prospering and grown big in 34 years. You never forget. Like she said, Janet might not even remember that, but that was mountains for her. So make sure you're out there making somebody's day.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like that was the gist of that, So Cynthia said we had a day of laughs at work.
Oh,
okay,
cool.
That's a good glimmer. Here's another glimmer. My boyfriend's son running to me saying he missed me and giving me a hug.
Oh, that was cool.
That is amazing. Because bonus parenting is not easy. So when the kid makes it easy, Yeah, you're winning. You're winning. So we have another Cheryl that's going to be part of our sunshine. Cheryl Underwood. She is the comedian that gets so much flack. Like somebody's always talking crap about how she looks, and I think she's gorgeous. Hear what she has to say. There we go.
Older you get, you just don't care what people think and what people say. I mean, I'm nervous all the time, but I don't care what you think anymore. I've lived so long. And I try not to let a thumb thug, somebody out there, I'd say thumb thug, you on your computer, I don't know you, I can't let you affect me. But I also have a crew around me. I have a crew that says, don't listen to that. That's not true. Don't let that get in your head space. The older
I love that because she's right.
That.
I remember she was on, I don't know if it was this show, but she was talking about how she wasn't embraced by the other comedians, and she gets the jokes about, because the joke is, you know, the actor that she looks like and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so she was like, people were just so cruel, and she was so upset about that. And it's good, like a couple of years later down the line, she like, so. And she said something important. I have people around me that remind me that that's not true, that I'm wonderful, that I'm capable, and I'm beautiful. It's very important to have a solid group around you. So that's so important. So that's the sunshine. Yes, the crew is so important. She right, the third thugs be serious.
They be on you,
and you don't have to be famous, man. Then Twitter will eat you up. Like it will definitely.
And they try to be subtle, try to ease it in, but you know.
And they don't never have a profile pic. Never. Okay, well, that's our sunshine. We're going to get into our first commercial. You guessed it, Miss Michi.
Y'all, it's your girl, Miss Michi, checking in with my girl, Renita from Be Your Own Kind. You know that's my sis. Make sure that you tune in every Thursday to the Blueprint Live at 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, live on Facebook and YouTube. And then you can catch me on Fluent Radio, Philly Jams 95.3, Indie 101.5, and Mixed Talk Media. And I'm available anywhere that you listen to podcasts, okay, and your radio shows. So get on it, okay? Let's do this. I love to connect with you and promote what you got going on. Let's get it. If you or someone you know would like to be a guest on the Blueprint Live, visit thebpmediaco.com today.
Love it. Make sure you follow her, MZMETCHI. Yes. And on Instagram also, if you hashtag the Blueprint Media Live, you're going to see a plethora of Miss Michi. So that is our media partner, and we love her.
We do.
And she loves what you got going on. All right, you ready for Kiwi Ree?
Yeah.
You got Cynthia with you, so.
Come on, Cynthia.
All right, Kiwi Ree is just funny stuff that I saw online, basically. And so the first one, Ma, do you remember this hairstyle?
I remember the fan ponytail. The fan ponytail.
So I thought this was funny. This was on one of my friends' Facebook, where she says, I'm this old hashtag fan ponytail. That was serious in the morning. I would get up. I'm sure I burnt the crap out of my hair. Make sure it was curled. I couldn't find the picture. I was looking for one. I had it. It was perfect. That was the only hairstyle I knew how to do as a kid, and I perfected it. Thank you, cousin. Thank you. Hey, yes. Do y'all remember the fan ponytail? And I used to put like the watermelon lollipops in it.
She was serious about it.
I was serious because I couldn't French braid. I couldn't do flat twists. I couldn't do none of that. But baby, I can slick my hair up, stick it up, curl it, spritz it. Yes. Y'all remember the fan ponytail. I know y'all remember. Please don't leave me out here hanging with that.
Somebody help her, because I remember her fan ponytail. Oh, yes.
Oh, God. Another Kiwi Ree. Here's a question. Why is it that your clothes only get caught on the door handle when you're in the bedroom?
Oh, my God. Why is that for real?
Somebody said that's the Lord grabbing you and telling you to stop being extra. I swear, every time I'm trying to make an exit, either I forget something important or I get caught on the door. Like you know when you're trying to make that grand exit, because you got that point and you got that punchline, and then you like, dang, my purse is back there. I need my phone.
And you gotta go back. You feel so stupid. You be like, oh,
right. I thought about this.
man.
Right, and the person says always in front of the person you met, and yes,
Always.
it makes it so
And
bad.
I know that they hear, they be like, that's what she get.
I know. I remember I had made a big punchline and walked out the door and left the key. And then it didn't move, so I had to walk in and he just looking like.
Oh yeah, I love that.
Oh Lord, she said my hands were wet, but the fan pony was my go-to. Yes, that was the style.
That was y'all.
Couldn't tell me nothing if I had it. Yes, to the side fan. I'm getting excited. I'm yelling. I'm sorry. Yes. Thank you, Cynthia. I'm like, I know I'm not alone in this fan ponytail. I'm not alone.
Thank you for being with her, Jacinta. Thank you for being her partner in crime on the Fan Ponytail.
Oh my goodness. We got one more keyword read. Now I was gonna make this like news, but this was so I might just be looking at this differently than everybody else. So let's get into it. Let me pause it. So I don't know if you guys listen to the Steve Harvey Morning Show. But apparently Miss Strawberry Letter, what is her name? Shirley. Miss Shirley Strawberry. She had a conversation with her husband when he was incarcerated. Husband at the time he was incarcerated, and she talked about Steve, and his house being beautiful. But of course, the part that everybody highlighted was his wife was like a monster or like a diva, and looked at her as if she was the help. And and Steve is scared. And Steve is scared of her. No, Marjorie. Marjorie. So Marjorie has been getting a lot of flack for the last 2 weeks because the ex-husband, Kingpin or whatever, is writing this book and he's going on like a YouTube tour. So it's making her and Steve look bad. So I think Steve had enough. And so he gave Shirley Strawberry like this platform to come clean about the conversation, which in my opinion is, I can't fire you, but it's kind of humiliating in a sense, but I could be wrong. Let me know your thoughts, but let's get into what she had to say. It's 8 minutes. We're going to listen to all of it, but let's listen to the beginning of it. First,
I'm going to just start by saying that my estranged husband is in jail. He's been in jail for over a year, since about right after the 4th of July of 2022. And recently, some phone calls from last year between he and I were leaked. And on those calls, you hear me saying you were winded going up the stairs at your home. And Marjorie looks at us as the help. And right here and now, I want to apologize to you and Marjorie for what I said. As much as I wish I could, I can't take it back. I can't.
Let's pause it here. How many people, I'm gonna raise my hand, has got on the phone and talked to their spouse or friend or whatever about their boss? Who doesn't call? Well, not in this case. Who doesn't have a conversation about their boss to their spouse?
That's like almost like 100%.
So I feel like she said what she said, but she was made to backtrack because it was on a public. Am I thinking of this wrong?
No.
Because I feel like people talk crap about their boss all the time.
Yeah, in their own little circle.
I think it just fed into the narrative was floating around about his wife. And so I don't think she said anything wrong. She fessed up to her words, made her apologies, and as long as Steve forgives her, that's all that matters. And I'm just nervous about him forgiving her because later on in this clip, he was just like, well, that's why I don't have people at my house. And da-da-da-da. And she was just like, I'm sorry. But anyway.
But on the show, they're like really cool.
They're very close. My thing is, he ain't never said nothing back by her behind her back. It's just the fact that it wasn't recorded. Yeah. And I love Uncle Steve, but I just kind of felt like this was a little humiliating in a sense. It was like humble yourself, basically. Yeah. So here we go.
Said it, and I want to apologize. It was definitely not me trying to add to what you and Marjorie already have going on in your.
Mind you, this conversation was last year. They just pulled it up this year. So she really didn't have nothing to do with this. It's the way they set it up as if she did.
Lives right now. But the fact that these tapes were released, it does seem like everyone is coming to you.
Yeah, that's true.
Coming for you, I should say, at this time, including me. But in reality, the tapes have nothing to do with what you and Marjorie have going on. It was just me running my mouth in a private conversation, or what I thought was a private conversation. And again,
how did you think it was private and he was in jail?
Right, because they record those calls.
I don't think she thought they were going to pull the recording.
I don't think
but
so.
But they definitely wasn't private.
Yeah, it's not. No, you're talking to somebody in jail. It is not private.
No. He talks about everybody. The only difference is that he's in the spotlight right now, and that media will feed off. Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's basically what he said later on. Like, he was just like, well, you know, I'm sick of people coming at me and my wife. And I can get that you're emotional because his wife is affected. So we don't know what the pillow talk is at home. And even though we don't see her reaction, it doesn't mean she's not reacting behind doors. That's so true. I get him being passionate about his wife. I just feel like if we're going to highlight those people that spread lies or whatever, not someone you care about that said something in a heated moment to her spouse.
Right.
That's all I'm saying. Like, you know how you're mad at people, but you take it out on those closer to you. Mm-hmm. That's what that seemed. That's how I'm interpreting it. You know what I'm saying?
And I don't really feel she meant any harm.
And she's going through enough. This girl homeless, broke, all types of stuff. You know what I'm saying? And now she got to humiliate. Okay. Okay, a little bit more, then we're going to move on. Clearly, I'm emotional.
I apologize. I feel terrible. I make no excuses. You know, I said what I said, and there's no denying it. There's no taking it back. Back then, when the phone calls happened, I was trying to stand by my man, be supportive wife, you know. I've been married to this man for 8 years. I had no idea that all this was going on with him. I had no idea. And the charges that he's facing are horrific. They are really bad. I for sure did not want your name mentioned in any kind of way associated with my mess. So I had to call you. I had to tell you. It was a hard call for me to make. But I called you. And I want to clear something up, Steve. You did not introduce me to him. I met him through a friend. I should say an ex-friend now. Anyway, so back to what I was saying. I had to tell you, he was in jail. It was going to come out. I didn't want you to hear it from anyone else. I wanted you to hear it from me because I knew once the police and everyone, got involved, and they were already involved, and they found out who his wife was and who she worked with and all of that, and that's you, Steve Harvey, it would become, a real big story.
So did she call him right now, or did she call him when she said that?
I'm thinking maybe when she said
that's what it seemed like.
Yeah.
But because it came out, she's apologizing again.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, Shirley Strawberry, a lot of people don't really feel bad for her because apparently whatever these charges were, it was some type of offensive thing towards her daughter. And they said she stood by the man and not the daughter. I think this is her. Yeah. So it's deeper than that. So I think she's also trying to gain some type of, commodity too.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's deeper than that. Yeah, y'all gotta catch that video.
Because I haven't been watching that show.
So the whole video, I'm gonna put the link in here if y'all want to hear the whole thing, because the show is gonna be about Steve Harvey if we keep going. But because I done listened to it a couple of times, like, what?
She really feels bad, and she loves Steve.
She does. That's what she said. She feels bad. She feels bad really that was out here or whatever. But wait, that's me talking.
But that's what sometimes.
But what friends haven't you talked to a mutual friend about? Everybody be saying stuff about people, heat a moment or behind their back or this and that. I guess when they're a public figure, you got to be careful because jail is not a private conversation.
It's not. That's the first thing.
It's definitely not. You ready for a commercial?
Let's go.
All right, we'll be right back.
Yeah.
Welcome to season 5 of the Be Your Own Kind podcast, where we interview individuals that are basking in the lane they have created. To keep up with all things BYOK, visit our website at BeYourOwnKind.com. While there, stop by the BYOK shop to grab our merch to add daily inspiration to your life. BYOK has also created a Facebook group that offers giveaways, business advice, and lots of laughs, and most importantly, sisterhood. Have time for a chat or to just get acquainted with your girl? Go to our site and click under bookings to set up a 30-minute coffee chat. Be sure to tune into the BYOK 2 Cents Live every Wednesday at 9:20 Central Standard Time on the BYOK Platform YouTube channel, or you can listen to us on Fluent Radio at www.fluentradio.com. Last but not least, if you love our content, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and share our episodes. Or if you feel so inclined, send a donation to our PayPal at paypal.me/BYOK24. Thank you for rocking with us each season and enjoy the episode.
I love the
Welcome
lives.
back. You heard me. Follow me everywhere.
I know, right?
BYOK Platform on YouTube, Be Your Own Kind 24, everywhere. Yeah. And so while we're talking about me, and mom, because mom will be vending at this event. She's vending at all the events. Commercial is almost done, Ma.
Okay.
So by shooting the breeze, we'll play it a couple of times.
And I have a new statement from my business plan that
Okay.
to clarify, to really make it clear what I do.
Okay, mission statement.
I have a
I
mission
love it.
statement.
I love it. So it's the Arts and Affirmations monthly event. I could take that monthly out. But art and affirmations. Basically, what we are doing, or we are painting and we are affirming. We got goodie bags. We got refreshments. We got painting our own little wine glasses. Hosted by our own Moesha from Moesha. I call her Mo by my friend Mo. From local Cola Art Studios. I got it. I've been practicing that.
Okay.
Yes. So she will be hosting that. The it's $12 to go. However, it's going to cover your refreshments, art supplies, and we're also going to do Sister's Closet, which I've talked about on the social media sites a little bit.
I've been seeing it.
And so basically what that is if you have something in your closet and you know you need to purchase, we all got stuff in our closet we don't need, you would donate 5 to 10 items at the event, and it's free to whoever wants it. So you're cleaning your closet, and if you don't want to pick up something in return from somebody else, you don't have to. But there was some really cool things that was at our last one.
It was.
And so I'm really excited. If you are interested in just me picking something up because you can't make the event, if you go to www.beyourownkind.com, let me just put this in here. It's a link right here where you could just set up a pickup time, and I'll pick it up the day before any of the monthly events. So
okay, cool.
Yeah, so
I'll help you pick up if you need me to.
Okay,
Yeah.
All right, teamwork. Yes, this was actually Mo's idea. So I'm really excited
I'm
about
ready to
that.
clean out my closet.
I know. And share, bring a friend.
Right.
Yes, and so
safe space.
That it is definitely a safe space. We did
loving
mass last month.
Yes.
How did you feel about it?
I loved it because because we got to actually talk about the person that people see and the person that we really are or trying to become. And it was really cool to just verbalize it. You know, sometimes you have things in your mind, but once you say it, it becomes life.
Exactly. Cousin said Steve already knew about this. The recording was just leaked this year. Okay. So he's just angry about what's going on then, because he was really we didn't listen to the rest of it, but he was really emotional about it. But it seemed like when she said it, she like oops, and she called him. So I feel like that's a good friend. I feel like he could have been mad then, but it's not like he was blindsided. So that's good.
Oh, okay. Now
that makes it much better.
Makes it better.
Yeah. Which is why I guess maybe she offered to come up. So maybe see, we could be outside looking in. I could be wrong. These are just my opinions anyway. Hey, yeah, she's loving that.
All right.
It is 3 blocks away from my house. What time is it? It is from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. You click on the link and you get more information. And if it's right around the corner, come on, join us.
It's really cool.
Yes.
And bring those things that you're not wearing so we can give it to someone else.
I have 5 to 10 items every month. Really.
I know, right? Cynthia,
Yes, I really love it. And so I'll be still showing. I still got tons of pictures from the events that I'm showing each week or whatever. And then I'll be posting this up. Okay, hopefully I don't have a game that night. Okay. I hope you can come. I definitely do. Yes. All right, we are ready for What's the 411? So let's get to it. I wasn't ready. Y'all, I wasn't ready.
I gotta go and
want to do a flashback of something that we talked about last week that I figured maybe we should do an update on it because we were so outraged last week, right? So here we go with the flashback. First of all, thank you very much to Cynthia because it just says Facebook user. Sophia, I really, really, really do hope you can come, ma'am. I really do. I need to check that out. Yes.
Hey, Brittany.
I know, cousin. All right, and so we got a flashback going on here. So this is the story that I have to update, but I just wanted to give you a quick reminder. Dangerous to navigate the world as a woman. It's common for folks. Most people of the opposite sex to question that statement. Okay, let's get into what happened. I don't want to get into that. They said, in case you've been out of the loop, a woman went viral on Instagram and TikTok in Houston, Texas, after she got hit with a brick for turning down a man who was pursuing. Here's the story. In September 12th, the TikTok video creator, I'm a terrible reader. Oh, the story is we got to hear from her. Where is the story? Oh, here it is.
That's stays with a brick and all these black men just watch and they don't give a fuck.
Oh, wow, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, that's okay. So basically, I need to get better with spreading the news. So basically, a woman got hit with a brick. That was a learning moment. That was horrible. I didn't look at that flashback before.
Teachable moment.
Very teachable. I say so. I love that y'all tune in every week, even after something like that. Oh God, that was horrible.
We are all a work in progress.
We are family for real on this channel because that is horrible.
We are a family.
So basically, the girl lied.
She lied.
Yes, she lied.
I'm so sick of these people
we were
lying.
so outraged because people are getting like hit and beat up for real, like. And so this is what the guy had to say on TikTok about it.
She lied, just like Carly Russell. All you simps and panders is out there going at black men, trying to get us to put ourselves out there for a black woman that we ain't related to or we ain't putting that meat to. Oh, y'all tripping. That's what y'all sound like to me. Research over me search. Let's get into it. There's still people that believe this story. She has multiple videos up of her having a similar allergic reaction. She has multiple GoFundMe with similar incidents. And her friend, they say she a scammer. There's no police report. The owner of the restaurant said that's not on film. There's no blood after the being bricked. Come on, guys. We are CSI social media investigators, and we graduated from YouTube University. How y'all gonna call out us on our investigation?
This appears to be a video made by Rose showing you all her after visit summary. Her police report is showing that she did have an emergency room visit on September the 3rd. It was due to a facial injury caused by trauma. You can see the multiple CT scans that she did have. The results show that she has a bone injury. Below her finger shows the possible reasons for the bone injury. This here is her doctor note. So to all of you who are saying that she had saline injections or an allergic reaction, stop the fucking cap.
Oh, y'all believe in anything these days? I gotta stop believing these hoes. Then the amount of times I've been tagged in this video, y'all didn't find it suspicious when this individual inserted themselves? Let's see it.
The fact that nobody is questioning the fact that this woman deleted her TikTok, privatized her Instagram, hasn't posted an update on her face on Instagram, but has garnered almost $50,000 in
$50,000. This is the part I want to get to. People are donating. Look, I'm finna get a GoFundMe. It is official. I'm gonna get a GoFundMe. She is racking up, and they don't refund this money. They don't refund this money.
So once you get the GoFundMe, that's your money, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, they have to release it to her. So either they can release it to her if they haven't already.
Okay.
Or the people get it back. But most likely, people do not get their money back.
I didn't know how that worked.
They don't get their money back. She says, I was so upset when I found out she lied. What about the times when someone really needs help? Right. No one is going to help. There are people out here that really need GoFundMe money. And it's bad that I am so skeptical to donate to these things because of stuff like this.
That goes back to the other lady. That's what he was saying. The one with
Carly Russell.
Okay. That's one with the baby buggy.
Huh?
Who is the lady that was supposed to be kidnapped? Is that
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. That's her.
Okay.
I say, huh?
Huh?
So this is crazy. This is like 9 minutes, but I want to get into finish this and then we can move on.
In 6 days?
They'll say it better than
That's
me,
a little
clearly.
weird to me. Nobody's questioning her, despite the fact that she did this in 2020, did it a little more subtly in 2022, and now again in 2023. Nobody's questioning it. Not a single soul.
So if her Instagram is private, how would you know if she's uploading any new photos or not? And you damn right I followed her back. Christina, go and take it away.
Y'all saw a funky, nasty spirited white woman barely get up out of bed, sleep still on the eye, to make a video discrediting a black woman who said that she was the victim.
And that's another thing. We can't always assume that we're always right.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So if it was a black woman that did that, would that have been any different? I don't know. I'm gonna leave this story alone because it pisses me off. But I just kind of feel like I'm kind of with everybody. Like, you need to do your investigating before you start like investing and sending stuff on GoFundMe.
Right.
Yes. So
people lying
because people really won't help. People just really won't help or whatever. And so just to add insult to injury. Was it injury to insult? Which one is it, Mom?
Insult to injury.
So this is what she does say when she goes on TikTok. I was all into this because I was really mad about it. So this is what she does say.
Assalamu alaikum. Rhoda here to remind you that every time you lie to somebody, you're taking away their choice. You're taking away the ability for them to make a decision that's good for themselves. And that's why I always lie to the people of the global minority and men.
And she laughs.
That is not funny at all.
It's not. And I was so heated about it. I'm like, should I even do this? Wow. Should I not? Should I do this? Should I not? I did it.
That's deep.
Yeah. I was heated by that.
Wow.
I'm also a little worried about this too and don't understand it. So according to Chicago Sun-Times, who made me get an account, a migrant tent city might land on far south side. Alderman Ronnie Mosley will hold a meeting about a potential site at 115th and Halsted on Wednesday evening. That's
115th and Halsted.
Very, 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 very close. So they're saying the 12-acre parcel at the busy intersection in the Morgan Park neighborhood near West Pullman and Roseland has sat empty since the Joel Osco grocery closed there 2007. So last week, Alderman Andre Vasquez, chair of the council's Committee of Immigrant and Refugees' Rights, mentioned it as a potential site for Johnson's winterized base camps for migrants.
That big lot.
Johnson announced his plan last week when around 2,000 migrants were sleeping on police station and airport floors, which I was telling you about. It's down the street from us, causing problems for arrivals and police. The tents would be a stopgap measure for those migrants. So you're going to take them out of a warm building and put them in tents outside in the middle of winter? Is that what I'm reading?
That's what it seemed like you just read.
Do you want me to keep going?
If you like.
Okay, so looking at the lot from a nearby McDonald's, Speak said he remembered when it was a Jewel and Adventure store before that. He lives on a fixed income in a halfway house. He said, but seeing migrants living at the Gresham District Police Station several miles north on Halsted has moved him despite tensions over migrants getting help with housing instead of Chicagoans. That is the big thing. Like, homelessness is a big problem here, but we're just trying to figure out where to put them. That's what a lot of people are saying. It's not just a black and brown thing. It's a human thing, he said. These people left situations of hardship to get here. I agree with that. The city did not immediately confirm that the site would become a tent shelter or how long till the first would be built.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, don't get me started on this. Cynthia, what's wrong?
Cynthia, it's just a hot mess.
So how do you feel about that, Mom?
The way I always feel like we never take care of people that were already in need or distress. Mm-hmm. We always reach past them to help somebody else. I mean, people have been living on the streets and under BYOKs here forever, and it just became the norm where we know this is tent city. You know where the homeless people stay, and it's okay for them to be outside.
Yeah.
But then you have other people that come over and they are accommodated when these other people aren't. They live outside every season from January to December, and nothing is like the norm. It's okay.
Yeah.
You know, I still understand, even with, why we always take care of people outside of the people that are here that need help. I just don't get that.
I don't get that either. Cynthia says, I got it. I get it that Illinois is a sanctuary state, but the city removed the homeless people tents on 51st.
They
right.
did. Yeah, just Cynthia, they did. And that's my thing. They were comfortable. I mean, they knew that was a safe place for them.
Right.
So now they got to go someplace else where they don't know whether it's going to be safe, or really they don't know what to expect.
Exactly. Man, what about our own?
Exactly. What about
But they're
our
saying
own?
immigration is good for the economy, so they're just thinking of ways to fuel the Chicago economy.
I understand that, but what about
It's always a numbers thing. It's a number
it's a
shaking my
numbers
head.
thing.
It should be a grocery, exactly, because that's
Right.
what a grocery store works. We just talked about grocery store food deserts like a couple of weeks back.
We did. That's what it should be, Bernita. It should be a grocery store, because with the Walmarts closing, the Targets closing, we're back to food deserts, and the seniors not able to get their prescriptions.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Here's the thing. What about all these empty schools? Why are we not utilizing that for homeless?
That is true.
Why are we not utilizing that for kid after school programs?
What about all these empty buildings?
That's what I'm saying. These schools are huge.
Yeah. That's a good.
Why are we building when we have all these empty buildings already
Right.
around the city?
Yeah.
Right. Cynthia said they only have a certain amount of time to be allowed in the police stations when it's cold. It's really, really frustrating. Oh, because they camped out there now.
Yeah.
They have dismantled Tent City on Roosevelt, which has been there for a really long time.
Yeah.
So what about them? They supposed to move all the way out here? Or is that just, it seems like it's immigrant specific, like.
Yeah, that's what it kind of seems
Yeah,
like.
that's the problem.
Yeah.
They are only concerned with Chicago and not exactly the economy. It's a numbers thing.
Yeah,
They're just trying to move up. Yeah.
That's so unfortunate.
They're just trying to help the budget because apparently we're in debt.
Well, the whole United States supposedly is in debt.
Yeah, but we're $538 million in debt. That's the next story. I feel like this went hand in hand. So Chicago, I'm using this subscription because they made me. So Chicago sometimes says Chicago faces 2024 budget shortfall of $538 million, more than a third of it tied to migrant crisis. So that's why they're trying to rectify the problem.
Yeah, okay.
The students are allowed to go to whatever school they want, can't be turned away. They don't have to speak English either. So that takes up space from the Chicago kids. So why are we closing schools? Should we be opening more schools since migration is a big thing? Shouldn't we be opening new schools, not closing them?
Right, and utilizing, like you said, the schools that are closed for a shelter.
You know why this is happening? Because we don't do the petitions. We don't go to the alderman like they do in the other neighborhoods.
Right.
We don't complain like, okay, what are you gonna do about this big empty school right here?
We talk among ourselves.
Yeah. I don't know. We should do a petition. Look at me. What about the north side? They always coming on the south side.
Exactly. Because the north side is like, well, we always know it's the north side.
Well, they're trying to push us out of the south side. So let's overpopulate and push them out. Yeah, this is another. I think this is another gentrification trick.
They've been trying to do that.
Yeah, it's another gentrification trick, in my opinion.
Me too.
Mayor Brandon Johnson didn't take ex-mayor Lori Lightfoot's word for it when she said she left the city in great financial shape with an $85 million shortfall. How is that good shape? It's a good thing he was skeptical. His top aides told some city council members in a budget briefing. Wait a minute. I've been away from Chicago for 6 years. 85. What's been going on out here?
Nothing.
What did Auntie do?
She tried the best of her ability, whatever she was trying to do.
Okay, so we're broke, basically. It's saying another $90 million of the budget hole comes from Mayor Brandon Johnson's decision to get rid of the automatic escalator that would have increased property taxes to match the rate of inflation.
Oh, let's not talk about property taxes. Okay.
I'm sorry. Former Mayor Lori Lightfoot championed the property tax escalator. Johnson campaigned on the promise to hold the line on property taxes.
Y'all, it's getting real out here.
Okay, so the projected shortfall also includes $45 million in pension costs. Lightfoot intended to offload to Chicago Public Schools to cover non-teaching employees who draw their retirement checks from the Municipal Employees Pension Fund. Johnson apparently has decided not to shift those costs to the CPS. Also adding to the shortfall is $152 million in federal stimulus funds the former mayor had reserved for revenue replacement in 2024. Now it can't be used because we've already made up the revenue through a recovering Chicago economy, said the city hall. What recovering? If we this, I don't know. I feel like this could be contradictory. What did I just read, Ma?
Right. We ain't recovering. Okay, you did read that. That was so.
Okay, so much of the remaining $250 million of the shortfall is tied to new 5-year contracts that call for 7,000 city tradespeople to continue to receive the prevailing wage paid to their counterparts in private industry.
And
Construction. Okay. So construction on top of construction, where nothing is being completed, police funding, building unnecessary structures, etc. Got you. Cynthia broke it down.
That's what I just said.
But we're building up, and we have all these abandoned buildings. Am I missing something? Why don't we put this money in the already built schools that take up blocks and blocks of our community?
Nobody wants to take on the responsibility of that.
Are there any schools closed on the north side?
Probably not. Because they're protected over on the north side.
That's craziness to me. That is crazy.
And then on the west side, they get a lot of funding that the south side doesn't get as well. Because you never hear about a lot of things happening on the west side either. They get a lot of funding for construction, for education, for housing that we don't get on the south side because they stick together.
Because common sense isn't common.
Exactly.
That's crazy. So once again, I'm gonna stick to my gentrification theory because that doesn't make any sense to me.
Make sense.
All right, let's go to a commercial. I'm a little sad. We'll be right back. This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. People often think anxiety looks one way, but it has many faces and many emotions that sometimes can be overwhelming and daunting. I know about this feeling all too well because at a point I felt powerless to my emotions, almost to the point of drowning in them. So I decided to seek out a therapist to later learn that I have generalized anxiety disorder. If you have been experiencing the same feeling, please know that BetterHelp is here to help. BetterHelp offers licensed therapists who are trained to listen and help you. You have the option of talking with a therapist in a private, online environment at your convenience. There is a broad range of expertise in BetterHelp's 20,000 plus therapist network that gives you access to help that may not be available in under 48 hours. All you have to do is fill out a questionnaire to help assess your specific need, and then you get matched with a therapist in under 48 hours. Then you will schedule secure video and phone sessions. Plus, you get to exchange unlimited messages, and everything you share is completely confidential. Thanks to therapy, I learned the tools that I needed to conquer my anxiety and over-obsessive thinking. I did it afraid, and I took that leap to talk with someone, to later learn that it was going to be okay and that I was going to be okay. Please know that you can request a new therapist at no additional charge anytime. Join the 3 million plus people who have taken charge of their mental health with an experienced BetterHelp therapist. And better yet, get 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/BYOK. That's betterhelp.com/BYOK because you deserve it. Love it, love it, love it. If you want 10% off the first month, go to www.betterhelp.com/BYOK.
Yes, get those discounts.
All right, are y'all ready for the main topic? And guess what, Mom? Shooting the breeze next week.
Yes.
You finally get to have some fun, but not right now. Hey, lovelies, now it's time for the topic of the night. All right, it's your last lecture, Vaughn. So we do Shooting with the Breeze.
Next week.
So I was very careful with my words this week because last week Mom couldn't handle none of the words in the title. So I made sure I was very intentional with this title.
That's what we own.
Yes, all for you. Maximizing your gains by minimizing your losses. No more shortcutting my titles. This is clearly what we're talking about today. Are you okay with all of these words?
I'm okay with all of these words. Yes. Last week I had a meltdown. Please don't hold it against me.
I was gonna actually highlight that your problems with the tape. I made a whole video, but I didn't do it.
Thank you.
I didn't do it because it was Grandparents Week last week. She didn't understand none of it.
I was struggling last week.
Okay, so it was going to be a shorter title, but my co-host. So basically, I don't know if you guys ever watched How I Met Your Mother.
I can't remember it.
It's like a love, funny comedy type friend show, whatever. So basically, one of the episodes was about graduation goggles. Basically, before I get into the 3 articles, I hit you home today. I'm not gonna read the whole thing. I found parts that I'm gonna read.
Okay.
But basically, graduation goggles is as soon as you hate where you're at. Hey, for instance, in high school, or while you're in high school, you complaining, high school people, popular people, whatever. Maybe not you, but complaining in high school.
I loved high
but
school.
As soon as you're about to graduate, you start like in high school is perfect. You're gonna miss everybody. All the teachers were grand. That's graduation goggles.
Oh, okay.
And so I'm come to like as I was reading these articles that I'll give y'all so y'all can read the whole thing so Mom don't get up and leave. Is why do we do that? Like we fight hard to get out of a thing and then we miss it. We'll be in a relationship knowing it's toxic, and when it's time to make the decision, let them go. Now maybe they're not so bad. It's maybe I should give them another chance. Like I feel like that's human nature.
It is because that's familiar to us, and we are afraid of the unknown. So even though we know it's toxic or whatever, it's familiar and comfortable.
Exactly.
So when you let it go, you out in the unknown. You don't know what you're getting ready to encounter.
Exactly.
So that could be why.
Right. And so according to this article, Behavior SaaS Economics, the peak end rule is one of the long list of bias processes for memory formation in which there is a difference between the experience we have and the way we remember them. Like if you see an old photograph or you listen to an old song, you're thinking more of what you're missing versus what actually was.
Right, what you had, what you thought you had.
Exactly. So Nobel Prize winning psychologist Daniel Kahneman explains that the way an experience ends or the peak of the experience determines the happiness we ascribe to it. Now, this is still talking about happiness, right? Because happiness is basically perspective. We learned that last week about creating happiness, not synthesizing.
Thank you.
So accordingly, our memories of an event or period of time are more likely to be based on the most pleasurable point or its end, rather than the average of the experience overall. This is probably due to imperfect recall, or our memories of the thoughts and feelings we had at each moment get smoothed out over time into an overall impression. So you haven't, once again, let's get back to the ex. You haven't been with this ex in a while. You don't remember the in-between. Once again, you remember the peaks of it, but you don't remember the valleys because it's so long ago.
Right.
And you're often reminded when you talk to that person again and you're like,
now
that's why I
know.
don't talk to you. Right. But it takes a minute. It really takes a minute. So they're saying they use riding a roller coaster. Often you wait a very long and boring time before experiencing a thrilling ride over in mere seconds. Our recollection of the experience tends to be biased towards the thrilling peak, the short ride itself. I even want to put childbirth in that. People who say that childbirth is the worst pain they ever had get pregnant again.
Don't talk about us people.
So you forget about the in-between pain and you get baby fever. And then when you're pregnant and it's labor, you like, oh yeah. And then you have another one. So yeah. So I totally understand that this is just, the behavior. Yeah. Any questions on graduation goggles? Any thoughts? So you guys can think of something that you had graduation goggles on where Mom. Anything you could think of, or
let them go. It's so many things going. I've had graduation goggles on a whole lot of things. Because like I get back to it's the familiar.
Yeah, or you miss the people.
You miss the peak. That roller coaster is right because you stand in this long line and you do this peak and then it's over. And you're like, oh, but you remember going up the hill to come down to go, you remember that. You know what I'm saying? So it's the peak. It's always the peak.
Right.
It's the peak. Yeah.
Yeah. So here's the explanation. That's still going. This is still about last week, the hedonic treadmill, where you remember and then, but you forget all the in-between.
Right.
Once again, you're not maximizing. I feel like if we pay more attention to in-betweens, we might not get caught up in this.
Is that like normal human behavior though? Because we all do it.
Yeah, all of this is psychology.
Yeah, we all do it.
So the endowment effect, this is where we're getting into the title.
Okay.
It says, I'm sure you've noticed the unpleasant feeling that comes when we can't have something anymore. We hate loss. The endowment effect is a bias in which we overvalue something just because we own it.
Yeah.
You're my mommy. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
like, even though you're very valuable. This is a symptom of loss aversion where we feel losses differently than gains. Ever wonder why you can't part with a possession you probably never use, even though you'll never buy it now? That's some old clothes you can't fit. Sister's closet.
Sister's closet. Yeah. Sister's closet.
Shameless plug. You know, like we hold on to things for memory. Those old pictures, those old letters from old lovers, and you've been married with 50 million kids, but you're still holding on to those things because it's the emotion that's attached to it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so anything else on this? Oh, that might apply for experiences. Not totally convinced I want to keep up my work while in the thick of my PhD. Now leaving the program feels like a loss because at least before it was my program and my degree. So it's connected to we ain't getting into the familiarity effect, in which we prefer things just by virtue of being more familiar with them.
Yeah.
So basically, I don't like change.
You don't like change. that even comes with losing a loved one.
Mm-hmm.
You know, all while you going, like those of us who have had to do caregiving and taking for our parents, and it's like when they not here anymore. It's like that, you know, while you were doing it, it was like, oh, but once you don't have it to do anymore, it's like it's a void.
Yeah.
Because you're so used to doing or having that set routine until you actually miss doing it, which adds to your mourning because now you like.
But when you were in it, you were stressed.
You were stressed
and
you
anxious, trying to make sure everything is cool.
Right.
And then when they're gone, then you feel a sigh of relief. Now you're guilty about the sigh of relief.
Exactly.
Not because you didn't like taking care of them, but because now you don't know what to do. And it's like, okay,
what do I do now?
What do I do now? And so that could be part of it, where you forget the in between that person you're caring for no longer was just like they didn't have quality of life anymore.
Right.
And so and they were in pain and it was time for them to go. We forget the in betweens. I'm trying to I'm pushing this for myself too, to maximize the in betweens. So we don't have peak and valley. We just create the happiness throughout the way. So we're going to get into the endowment effect, which I talked about already, but it was something that I wanted on here that I saw because I'm not going to read all of this. Okay, so why it happens. The endowment effect is usually explained as a byproduct of loss aversion, the fact that we dislike losing things more than we enjoy gaining them. Because of loss aversion, when we're faced with making a decision, we tend to focus more on what we lose than on what we gain. As a result, in general, we are biased to maintain the status quo rather than shake things up and risk sustaining losses. In one experiment by these two founding fathers of behavior economics, participants were asked to imagine that they were in one of the two jobs. Job A, job B. They were told they'd been offered the option of moving to the other job, A or B. The new job was better than their current one in one aspect, but was worse in the other. The researchers found that regardless of which job they started out in, most people did not want to move to the other one. Yes, the gray space in life. So you in that job for 1 million years. You're not. I could just use myself for example with jobs. I was at a job for 11 years, nothing to do with my degree or anything. But I went to 2 interviews, and I'm like, they're never gonna let me in the human resource world. I'll just stick with what I know. So I'll stay in something that makes me unhappy versus continuously kind of putting myself out there in interviews.
Because it's familiar.
Right. And then I'm like, but I know these people. I'm comfortable with this. So instead of feeling uncomfortable, I just stay in my comfort, even though I'm unhappy.
We hate to get out of our comfort
zone. Exactly. Not the black and white. Life has more gray space than anything, or happiness is found in enjoying appreciation and acknowledgement of the gray space. Love that.
I love that.
Love that.
We need to say that's
yes,
perfect.
I love that. Yeah. I don't even have nothing to say. That's perfect. That's perfectly said.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Another aspect of loss aversion is the fact that when we make decisions, we usually undervalue opportunity costs. Opportunity costs are benefits that we miss out on when we choose one alternative over another, as opposed to out-of-pocket costs, which is the direct payment you make in a transaction. In the endowment effect, when we try to overcharge a buyer for something we own, it is partially because we are more focused on the out-of-pocket costs, losing that item, than we are on the money we miss out on if the buyer doesn't agree to our price. So that can even go with small businesses.
Yeah, that goes with.
I don't want to charge my value because I don't think people will purchase my product. Right. I don't want to charge for this and that because people might not come to my event or they may not support my brand.
We're going through that right
now. But you have to take that chance because that people will over time, attract people to your brand or attract people to your product.
Right.
And so
because it takes time.
Right. So instead of looking at what you can lose, look at what you can gain. So that's still a change of perspective.
Yeah.
What's your thought? Yeah. So what's your thought on that, Mom?
That's what you said. It's a mind. You got to change your way of thinking. I think that's what our main problem is. What does that say? If you keep doing the same things you've done, you're going to get the same results.
Yeah.
So it's like you have to come out of your comfort zone and do something different to get better results.
Yeah. But you can't be afraid of the loss.
But we're afraid of the loss.
Losing. But I feel like it's still fear because it's the possibility you may lose. You don't know if somebody's not going to buy your product if you haven't put it on the market.
Exactly.
You don't know if your business will be supported if you don't put it out there for you to support it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Even if you start with faithful 10, 20 people, those are faithful 10 and 20 people.
Because I have faithful return customers.
Right.
And they make me charge. They're like, oh no, no. And they're like, there's not no homie hookup. This is your business. Because a lot of times we're like, well, what are they gonna think about charges? But these people keep me grounded. These Capricorns, they keep me grounded. And they will pay me more than what I'm asking because they say this is your business. You're never gonna get any money if you keep underpricing yourself or underestimating that you can't make money. This is time.
Right.
It takes time to, let's look at your podcast and everything. This takes time and energy and effort. And you have to compensate yourself for that.
Exactly. And so learn your value and stick by it.
Yeah.
Set your price and stick by it. And whoever's going to be attracted, they can. If nobody's on this live with me, every Wednesday I'm here at 9:20.
Exactly.
If no one answers
you
are. Yes. Mommy, you are. Thank you. If no one's on my listen to my podcast, if nobody likes my post, I do it as if 1,000 people is following me because this is something I want to do, and I'm doing it because it's something I like, and people will see my value in it through my consistency. Exactly. So I just want to get into the before. I think we got time for Florida. Okay. I just want to get into the mindset of changing our mindset, and once again, like I just want to go back to this the last comment we got. Not the black or white. Life has more gray space than anything, and happiness is found in enjoying appreciation and acknowledgement of the gray space. That is our glimmer. If you weren't here at the beginning, glimmer is the positive of trigger. When you think of little things along the way that make you smile, make you happy, make you laugh. It's all about, thank you. It's all about the change in perspective.
Yes.
And I feel like Fluent Radio, we did good. You got the whole show.
Yes.
I don't even need to do the third article. Happy Mom.
Yes. I mean, because you covered it.
I did.
You
And so
covered
before they leave, I finally made a sound bite. Oh, did I put it in here? I did not put it in here. Oh, here it is.
You could be anywhere you want, but you decided to be here with me.
Yes, that's where I got that from.
Yes.
That is my song. Yes. And you could have been anywhere tonight, but you decided to rock with us. And we thank you so much for that. So, Mom, we have Shooting the Breeze
next week, you guys.
Yeah.
I don't know. Stay tuned. I don't know what we're going to be talking
And if
about.
you guys have it, guys, you can send me an email. You can DM me if you want us to talk about something. You know, I like to research something, but Mom's going to be mad. But we're just...
send some ideas that we can shoot the breeze.
Yes,
about.
yes.
It's not just about my shoot the breeze. Yes, everybody shoot the breeze.
Yes. Let's do that. And I'll say it again. You could be anywhere you wanted, but you decided to be here with us on this night, and we just thank you for that. And please remember, enjoy the gray space.
Yes.
Enjoy the gray space.
And the glimmers.
And the glimmers, right. And until next time, be kind to yourself and each other. Bye.
Bye-bye.